Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. The United States Kennedy Half Dollar, minted between 1776 and 1976, is a coin that holds both historical significance and tremendous value in the world of numismatics. While it was first introduced in 1964, the 1776 to 1976 edition has become particularly special among collectors. These coins celebrate the nation's bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and as a result, their importance stretches beyond just their metal composition. The Kennedy Half Dollar was created as a tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. The coin was designed by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, featuring a stunning portrait of Kennedy on the obverse and a striking eagle design on the reverse. The 1776 to 1976 issue, however, came with a special modification. To commemorate the bicentennial of the United States, the reverse side was altered to feature the image of the Liberty Bell superimposed on the moon, with the dual dates 1776 and 1976. This special edition marked a historic moment for the country and instantly captured the imagination of the American public. What makes these coins even more interesting is the way they were released. The government issued both regular circulating coins as well as special silver-clad proof versions. The regular coins were made of copper nickel, while the proof versions were composed of a copper nickel core with a layer of pure silver. These silver-clad coins were highly sought after by collectors, and in the years following their release, their rarity only increased. Over the years, the value of the Kennedy Half Dollar 1776 to 1976 has fluctuated based on a variety of factors, including its rarity, condition, and the demand from collectors. While most of these coins can still be found for just a few dollars, the ones in pristine condition, particularly those in proof or mint state, are far more valuable. Coins with special markings, such as era coins or those with unique characteristics, can also command much higher prices at auction. Another significant factor that has influenced the value of these coins is their silver content. As silver prices have risen over the years, the value of the silver-clad Kennedy Half Dollar has followed suit. If you happen to own a well-preserved 1776 to 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar with a decent amount of silver in it, you may find that its value has increased substantially over time. But what about the most valuable Kennedy Half Dollars? What coins have truly stood out and achieved sky-high prices at auction? Interestingly, one specific variety of the 1776 to 1976 coin has gained considerable attention for its astounding value. The rarest of the bunch is the 1976 S-proof coin, particularly the ones with no mint mark. These coins were part of a limited run, making them highly coveted among collectors. Additionally, if the coin has been graded as MS-68 or higher, its value increases significantly, with some fetching well over $100,000 at auction. The exceptional value of these coins is a testament to how rare and desirable they have become over the decades. If you're fortunate enough to own a high-quality example of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar, you could be holding a piece of American history that's worth a lot more than just its face value. So, to wrap up, while most 1776 to 1976 Kennedy Half Dollars may only be worth a few dollars, there are some special examples that have skyrocketed in value over the years. In fact, the most expensive Kennedy Half Dollar ever sold reached a staggering price of $115,000. An amount that shows just how much collectors are willing to pay for a piece of history. If you're a coin collector or someone looking to invest in numismatics, it's clear that the Kennedy Half Dollar, particularly the 1776 to 1976 variety, remains a fascinating and valuable piece of American heritage. Top 2. The Kennedy Half Dollar, a coin that has become a true symbol of American history, has captivated collectors and enthusiasts for decades. Introduced in 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar was created to honor the life and legacy of President John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination in 1963. The coin, designed by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, features the image of President Kennedy on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. However, the 1971 edition of the Kennedy half-dollar holds a particularly special place in the hearts of numismatists and collectors. When the United States Mint released the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, it marked a significant change in the coin's design and composition. Prior to 1971, the Kennedy half-dollar was made of 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint decided to change the metal content of the coin in 1971, replacing the silver with a more cost-effective composition. From that year onward, the Kennedy half-dollar was made with a clad composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a copper core and a copper-nickel outer layer. This change in composition was significant not only from a technical standpoint but also from a collector's perspective. While the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar did not contain the same precious metal as its earlier counterparts, it remains a key coin in the Kennedy half-dollar series. For many collectors, the 1971 issue represents the beginning of a new era for the coin. It was also the year the coin's design remained unchanged, meaning the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is among the first to feature the same iconic design seen on the coin today. This makes it a vital part of the series for both casual collectors and serious investors. But what about its value? While the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar might not be made of silver, there are still factors that affect its worth, such as its rarity, condition, and whether it has been graded by a professional organization like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. The value of these coins can fluctuate over time, and there are certain editions and variations that stand out more than others. First, let's discuss the general value of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. In circulated condition, these coins can typically be found for just a few dollars. However, as with any coin, the condition plays a significant role in determining its value. If the coin is in uncirculated or mint state, it can be worth more. Coins in excellent condition, such as those with sharp details and minimal wear, often carry a premium. In fact, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in high grades can be worth anywhere from $5 to $10, depending on the market and demand. While this may seem modest, there are certain varieties of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar that are far rarer and far more valuable. One such example is the 1971 S-proof coin. These proof coins, which were specially minted for collectors, were produced in limited numbers and often have a mirror-like finish and sharp details that make them highly desirable. Proof coins from 1971 can be worth anywhere from $20 to $50 in excellent condition, depending on the grading and the specific market. But what about truly rare and exceptional coins? As is often the case in numismatics, certain coins stand out from the rest due to unique characteristics or an unusual history. Error coins, for example, have the potential to fetch astronomical prices. These are coins that were struck with some kind of mistake, whether it be an off-center strike, a double die, or a misaligned design. The error coins from 1971, though rare, can be worth significantly more than their standard counterparts. For example, a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with a double die can sometimes command thousands of dollars at auction. When it comes to high-value coins, there's one specific 1971 Kennedy half-dollar that stands above the rest. The 1971 S-proof coin, in perfect condition and with a high grade, can fetch remarkable prices. If you happen to come across one of these coins in top-tier condition, it could be worth a small fortune. The most expensive example of a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar ever sold reached a staggering price of $105,000. That's right, $105,000, a truly breathtaking sum for a coin that was minted over 5 decades ago. This high-value sale demonstrates the significant demand for rare and well-preserved Kennedy half-dollars from 1971. As with any collectible, the condition and rarity of the coin play a crucial role in determining its value. A coin with a flawless design, exceptional proof quality, and a verified history of rarity can drive prices through the roof. As time goes on, the demand for these unique coins will likely continue to rise, making them even more valuable to collectors and investors alike. For those who are interested in diving deeper into the world of numismatics, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar offers an exciting opportunity to explore the fascinating world of American coinage. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, understanding the historical context and rare varieties of the coin can give you an edge in finding hidden treasures. And if you're fortunate enough to come across one of these rare, high-quality coins, you could find yourself sitting on a valuable piece of American history. So, in conclusion, while the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar may not have the same intrinsic silver value as its predecessors, it remains an iconic and valuable coin in the eyes of collectors. The demand for well-preserved, high-grade examples continues to rise, and as we've seen, certain coins from this year have the potential to fetch eye-popping amounts at auction. In fact, the most valuable 1971 Kennedy half-dollar ever sold went for a remarkable price of $105,000. This is a testament to the enduring allure of the Kennedy half-dollar series and the lasting impact it has had on the world of numismatics. If you're lucky enough to own one of these coins in exceptional condition, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. Top 3. The Kennedy half-dollar, a beloved and iconic coin in American history, continues to captivate numismatists and coin collectors around the world. While the series was originally introduced in 1964, it is the 1973 edition of the Kennedy half-dollar that holds unique significance. The Kennedy half-dollar was created to honor President John F. Kennedy, who tragically lost his life in 1963. From its inception, the coin has symbolized not only the legacy of a leader but also the evolving history of U.S. coinage. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was minted during a time when the coinage system in the U.S. was undergoing significant changes. After 1970, the United States Mint had switched to producing coins with a clad composition instead of the previous silver content due to rising silver prices. This meant that the 1973 edition, like the other half-dollars produced from 1971 onwards, was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. While it didn't contain the precious metal that made earlier versions so valuable, it did maintain its aesthetic appeal and continued to play an essential role in U.S. coinage. One of the most appealing aspects of the Kennedy half-dollar, particularly the 1973 version, is the design. The obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, features a striking portrait of President Kennedy, which remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. On the reverse, the coin features a soaring eagle, designed by Frank Gasparo, which represents the strength and freedom of the United States. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, like its predecessors, carries with it not just the weight of metal but the weight of American history, making it a cherished piece for collectors. Now, let's delve into the value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar. When it comes to determining the value of a coin, there are a few key factors to consider: the condition, rarity, and demand. Most of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollars in circulation today are still worth only their face value of 50 cents. However, the true value of these coins can skyrocket depending on their condition. For example, coins that are still in pristine, uncirculated condition and are well preserved are far more valuable than those that show signs of heavy wear and circulation. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, when found in uncirculated condition, typically ranges in value from $1 to $5. While that's not an exorbitant price, it's still a bit higher than the face value due to its excellent preservation. Coins that have been professionally graded, particularly those that are graded at MS-65 or higher, can see an increase in value. The difference in value between a regular circulated coin and one in mint state can be substantial. Then there are the proof coins, which were specially minted for collectors. These coins, produced at the San Francisco Mint, have a high-quality finish and are typically produced in limited quantities. The 1973 S-proof Kennedy half dollar is an example of a coin that holds more value than a standard coin. Proof coins are meticulously struck, often with more detail and a mirror-like finish that collectors find especially appealing. A 1973 S-proof Kennedy half dollar in excellent condition can be worth between $10 and $20, depending on its grade. However, there are certain rare varieties and exceptional examples of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar that can fetch even higher prices. Much like other coins, errors are an integral part of the coin collecting world. Error coins are those that have been struck with some sort of mistake, such as a double strike or an off-center design. These error coins are highly prized by collectors, as their unique nature makes them valuable and rare. While error coins from 1973 are not commonly seen, when they do appear on the market, they can command much higher prices than standard coins. The most extraordinary and valuable 1973 Kennedy half dollar is undoubtedly the one that has been kept in pristine condition and is highly sought after by serious collectors. The condition of the coin is crucial, and some examples of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar have achieved remarkable prices at auctions, particularly when they are in perfect, or near perfect, mint state. As with any collectible, rarity is a major factor that drives prices up. The 1973 Kennedy half dollar is not considered rare in the strictest sense, but finding one in mint condition can be a bit more challenging than you might think. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes, and the higher its potential value. For instance, a 1973 S-proof coin that has been graded as PR70, the highest possible grade for a proof coin, can attract a premium price on the open market. And then, of course, there are the top-tier auction results, where coins are sold for extraordinary sums. While the 1973 Kennedy half dollar may not be as valuable as some of the earlier half dollars, there are some coins from this year that have still achieved impressive results. One of the most expensive 1973 Kennedy half dollars ever sold reached a remarkable price of $95,000. This price demonstrates just how much value can be attributed to rare, well-preserved, and historically significant coins, even from more modern years in the series. This $95,000 sale shows that, even for a coin minted in 1973, the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand can lead to truly astonishing sums at auction. While most 1973 Kennedy half dollars may not fetch such high prices, the fact that there are examples that can sell for such a large amount adds to the excitement and allure of coin collecting. It serves as a reminder that, sometimes, even coins from the more recent decades of U.S. minting can hold immense value for the right buyer. In conclusion, while the 1973 Kennedy half dollar may not carry the silver content that its earlier counterparts had, it remains an important piece of U.S. coinage. The coin's timeless design, its place in the Kennedy half dollar series, and the changes it marked in American coinage make it a must-have for collectors. Though most of these coins may only be worth a few dollars, the rare examples, especially those in excellent condition or with unique characteristics, can be worth much more. And if you happen to come across one of the rarest and most exceptional 1973 Kennedy half dollars, you could be holding a coin worth a staggering $95,000. Top 4. The Kennedy half dollar has long been a staple of American numismatics, a coin that holds deep historical significance as well as considerable appeal among collectors. First minted in 1964, the coin was introduced to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, who tragically passed away in 1963. Over the years, the design and composition of the Kennedy half dollar have undergone various changes, but the 1981 edition, in particular, has a unique place in the coin's legacy. This particular coin is not just another item in a collection, it represents a period in U.S. coinage when changes were being made both in the metal content and the way coins were produced. The Kennedy half dollar of 1981, much like its predecessors, features the same iconic design that has remained unchanged since its inception. The obverse of the coin showcases the dignified portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse displays a majestic eagle, a design created by Frank Gasparo. These powerful symbols have made the Kennedy half dollar one of the most recognizable and revered coins in American history. However, the 1981 edition stands out because of the ongoing shift in the coin's metal composition and the socio-economic circumstances surrounding it. The 1981 Kennedy half dollar, like the years before it, was minted in a clad composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, as opposed to the 90% silver that characterized earlier versions. This change began in 1971 due to the rising cost of silver, making it impractical for the U.S. Mint to continue producing coins with such high silver content. While the 1981 coin didn't carry the precious metal weight that earlier Kennedy half dollars did, it still holds a significant place in the world of numismatics. By 1981, the coin was no longer in regular circulation, as it had been replaced by smaller denominations, such as the dollar coin, and most people simply didn't use the Kennedy half dollar for everyday transactions. As a result, the Kennedy half dollar became more of a collectible item than a commonly circulated coin. This change created a distinct divide between the general population and serious coin collectors, with the latter group eagerly searching for well-preserved coins from years gone by, including 1981. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1981 Kennedy half dollar. Many coins from this year, especially those that have been used in circulation, are worth only their face value of 50 cents. For the vast majority of these coins, that's all they will ever be worth. However, for collectors, it's not just the value on the coin that matters, it's the condition, rarity, and any special variations that can drive up the worth. As with any coin, the most important factor when it comes to valuation is condition. The better the coin looks, the higher the potential value. If you happen to find a 1981 Kennedy half dollar in pristine, uncirculated condition, you may find it worth a little more than its face value. Coins that are in excellent condition, with little to no wear, can be worth around $1 to $3. This is still quite modest, but it's a step above the average half dollar you might come across in your everyday transactions. If the coin is well preserved and graded highly by professionals, like those at the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, you can expect to see a rise in value. But what about proof coins? Proof coins are specially made for collectors and are struck with a higher level of care, detail, and craftsmanship than regular circulation coins. The 1981 S-Proof Kennedy half dollar, minted in San Francisco, is an example of a coin that could be of much greater value to collectors. Proof coins have a mirror-like finish and superior quality, making them highly desirable to those looking for perfection in their collections. These proof coins can be worth anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on their condition and grade. The rarity of a specific proof coin in pristine condition can make it even more valuable. While most 1981 Kennedy half dollars may not carry extraordinary value, certain rare varieties and errors could change that. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors and can be worth significantly more than their counterparts. A 1981 Kennedy half dollar with a noticeable mistake, such as a misstruck design or an off-center strike, could be worth several $100s or even more, depending on the nature of the error. These error coins are much rarer than regular coins, which makes them particularly appealing to collectors who are always on the lookout for a unique piece. But it's not just about finding an error coin or a perfectly preserved proof coin. Sometimes, it's simply about the fact that certain coins are harder to find in the first place. The 1981 Kennedy half dollar is not rare by any means, but certain uncirculated coins or specific proof versions can be hard to come by. As time goes on, the availability of coins in excellent condition becomes scarcer, and this scarcity drives up their value in the marketplace. One of the most intriguing aspects of coin collecting is how the value of a coin can increase dramatically over time. While the 1981 Kennedy half dollar may not have been particularly valuable when it was first released, the passage of decades can have a significant impact on its worth. As collectors become more interested in acquiring well-preserved pieces from each year of the series, coins that once sat in everyday circulation or in boxes at the mint begin to rise in value. This is particularly true for coins in near-perfect or exceptional condition. It's important to note that the market for numismatics can be unpredictable. Factors like the economy, changes in demand, and even trends within the numismatic community can influence how much a coin is worth. But what remains constant is the appeal of certain high-grade examples. For example, a well-preserved, highly graded 1981 S-proof coin could potentially fetch a much higher price at auction than a standard 1981 Kennedy half-dollar in ordinary condition. So, what's the highest price ever fetched for a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar? While the majority of these coins are still worth just a few dollars, one rare and extraordinary coin in pristine condition achieved an astounding price of $85,000. That's right, $85,000. This rare sale shows just how much certain Kennedy half-dollars from 1981 can be worth, especially when they are in exceptional condition or are part of a highly sought-after variety. This incredible sum is a testament to the power of rarity and the importance of maintaining coins in the best condition possible. In conclusion, while most 1981 Kennedy half-dollars are worth their face value or a modest premium, there is still incredible value to be found in certain examples. The key to discovering a truly valuable coin lies in its condition, rarity, and any unique features it may have, such as being a proof or an error coin. And for those who are lucky enough to possess a coin in pristine condition or one with rare characteristics, the value can rise significantly, just as we saw with the remarkable sale of a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar for $85,000. This serves as a reminder that numismatics is not just about the metal or the face value of a coin, it's about the history, rarity, and condition that make a coin truly valuable. Top 5. The Kennedy half-dollar has always held a special place in the world of American numismatics. First introduced in 1964, the coin was created to honor the legacy of President John F. Kennedy, who tragically passed away in 1963. Over the decades, the Kennedy half-dollar has undergone various changes, but one particular edition, the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar, stands out in its own unique way. While it might not be as old as some of its predecessors, the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar has become an important piece of American coinage, particularly among collectors looking for a modern, yet historically significant, coin. The design of the Kennedy half-dollar has remained largely unchanged since its debut. The obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, features a powerful image of President Kennedy in profile, a lasting tribute to his leadership and the era he represented. On the reverse, the eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom, is still depicted, a design created by Frank Gasparo. For many, these designs evoke a sense of pride in the nation and remind collectors of the pivotal moments in U.S. history that the coin commemorates. The 1998 Kennedy half-dollar, like many of its more recent counterparts, was minted in a clad composition, with a mixture of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The change in composition, which began in 1971, was made due to rising silver prices, making it cost-prohibitive to continue using 90% silver in the production of these coins. While the 1998 version did not have the silver content of earlier coins, it still has significant appeal to collectors, especially given its place in the series of Kennedy half-dollars. At first glance, a 1998 Kennedy half-dollar might not appear to be anything extraordinary. However, when you begin to dig deeper, you realize that certain factors can make this coin incredibly valuable. The primary factors that influence the value of a coin include its rarity, condition, and, of course, demand. Let's take a closer look at what makes the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar a coin worth paying attention to. For most coins, the value is largely determined by how well the coin has been preserved. In the case of the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar, if you find a coin that has been well taken care of, with little to no wear, it may be worth more than the face value of 50 cents. In fact, uncirculated coins can range in value from a couple of dollars to several dollars, depending on the condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is, which is why collectors often seek out coins that are in mint state, free of blemishes or signs of circulation. Coins that are graded by professional services such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, tend to have a higher value due to their certification of authenticity and grade. A 1998 Kennedy half-dollar graded in high mint state could be worth anywhere from $5 to $10, which is a modest amount but still above its face value. The fact that the 1998 coin is part of a series that is well known and deeply respected among collectors adds to its allure. But what really sets the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar apart from other coins of the same era is the fact that it represents a more modern era in the coin's production history. As time goes on, the availability of coins from specific years becomes increasingly limited. Even though the 1998 coin may not have been produced in the same quantities as earlier Kennedy half-dollars, it was still part of a regular minting process. Therefore, collectors are increasingly drawn to these more recent issues as they represent a modern chapter in the legacy of the Kennedy half-dollar series. Another significant aspect of the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar is its proof version. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors, and they often exhibit a much higher quality of design than regular circulating coins. The 1998 S-Proof Kennedy half-dollar, produced at the San Francisco Mint, is an excellent example of how a coin from this year can be highly sought after. Proof coins have a mirror-like finish, sharp details, and are typically produced in much smaller quantities than regular circulation coins. As a result, they are far more valuable than standard coins. The 1998 S-Proof Kennedy half-dollar can be worth anywhere from $15 to $30 in excellent condition, depending on the grade it receives. But like any collectible, the real value comes from the rarer examples, the coins that stand out because of their unique characteristics, condition, or historical significance. The 1998 Kennedy half-dollar is no exception. While not as rare as some of the coins from earlier years in the series, there are still special cases where the 1998 coin has captured the attention of collectors. For instance, coins that are graded as MS-67 or higher are far rarer and more valuable than the average 1998 Kennedy half-dollar you might find in a collection or in circulation. So, what about the truly rare 1998 Kennedy half-dollars? How high can their value go? Well, for the most pristine, high-grade coins, the value can skyrocket. One notable factor that can drive the price up is the coin's condition. A flawless example of the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar in MS-68 or higher can sell for significantly more than a typical coin in circulation. Additionally, if the coin has been preserved in a way that makes it appear almost as if it just left the mint, it will undoubtedly be much more attractive to serious collectors. The demand for well-preserved, high-quality examples of the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar continues to grow as collectors seek to complete their sets of coins from each year in the series. The more collectors become interested in acquiring rare and high-grade coins, the more value these pieces will retain over time. Now, let's talk about the highest price ever paid for a 1998 Kennedy half-dollar. While many of these coins may not be worth large sums, there is one remarkable sale that really stands out. The highest price ever recorded for a 1998 Kennedy half-dollar was an extraordinary $55,000. Yes, that's right, $55,000 for a single coin. This incredible amount highlights the value that can be found in rare, well-preserved, and highly sought-after coins, even from more recent years. The sale of this particular 1,998 coin serves as a reminder that the Kennedy half-dollar series, despite being a modern issue, still holds significant worth among collectors and investors. In conclusion, while most 1998 Kennedy half-dollars are worth only a few dollars above their face value, there are rare examples that can fetch an astonishing amount. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of numismatics, the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar represents a fascinating chapter in American coinage. Its enduring design, the continuing demand for high-quality examples, and the limited supply of well-preserved coins make it a valuable piece for anyone interested in building a meaningful coin collection. And as we've seen, the most valuable 1998 Kennedy half-dollar ever sold went for an incredible sum of $55,000, proving that there are still hidden treasures to be found, even in more modern coins.